Boo! It's officially Halloween here on Talking Toku, Boston and Bellingham's only podcast about Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, and all their kaiju friends. I almost screwed up the intro, but I saved it at the end. You can't tell me otherwise. Hello, I'm your host, David.
Boo, I'm Brian.
Whoa, Brian, you scared me there a little bit. You're too spooky.
I bet I did, because you definitely can't see my face right now, so you didn't see my face make the boo shape with my mouth.
The boo shape with your mouth. Okay. That's an interesting image you've tried to conjure up in my mind. Thank you for that, question mark.
You're welcome.
Anyways, so it's Halloween, Brian. What the fuck are we talking about again?
We're talking about a spooky movie by the name of Along with Ghosts, which is the third part of the Yokai Monsters trilogy.
Hell yeah, it is. And it's the technically the final, well, I guess not technically, it is the final entry in the Yokai Monsters trilogy, which of course is a thematic trilogy, no relation to any plots. They don't tie together at all. There's yokai. That's the only thing that ties them all together.
It's more of a vibe connecting all of them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've done a Yokai Monsters film every year for Halloween, and here we are at the end of things. I mean, granted, there are technically two more Yokai Monsters films, but I think they're less spooky than these ones. They're more like fantasy films than horror films, which I guess these are all fantasy horror, but like I think the Takashi Miike films are full-on fantasy, not a whole lot of horror. Granted, I might be talking out of my ass because I have not seen them yet, but I don't know. We'll find that out at some point. I don't know when.
Maybe we'll watch them.
I mean, we'll definitely watch them. It's just whether or not we end up covering it next year for Halloween, or if we switch gears and do something else. But we are getting way ahead of ourselves because this is this year's Halloween. We got to talk about this movie along with Ghosts, not the Great Yokai War. Fuck, what are we doing with our lives?
Not a lot.
Exactly. Okay. Well, we got surprisingly, we have some news because we've done an episode once per week. We're randomly on a weekly schedule completely by accident. Because
don't get used to it.
Yeah, do not get used to it. God, please no. But there's a reason for it. Like the first time with our 100 review, that was delayed because I lost the audio. Jeremy's interview, that was like actually on schedule, and then this week we just wanted the Halloween special out by Halloween because Halloween is on a fucking Tuesday this year. It's really annoying. And, if we were to record next Monday, as we normally would on this schedule, it would be out after Halloween, like on the 4th, I think, November 4th. And that's after Halloween.
It would be the 3rd.
The 3rd. That's Godzilla Day, too. We can't be talking about how spooky stuff on Godzilla Day. That's Godzilla Day. We got to be talking about Godzilla. But again, we're not fucking recording next week. We're taking a break for God's sake. It ain't happening.
Yep.
All right.
We might actually take a 2-week break.
Oh, will we? I mean, I'm okay with that. I think you did mention that to me. Like you wanted to do a 2-week break after that.
Just to take a breather.
That's okay. I don't blame you. Besides, we got to see Godzilla 2000 in theaters that week, anyways.
True.
Well,
True.
I am. I don't know if you have tickets for it yet, but
I'm thinking about it.
I've got tickets because, like, I feel like it's my civic duty because, like, it's Godzilla in a movie theater. Like, why wouldn't I go? You know. It's rare. I mean, it's not really rare nowadays, but like, I think we talked about this at some point. I don't know where, like, what the context was for our discussing this, but like, a couple of years ago, we never would have been able to see a Godzilla movie, a Toho produced Godzilla film in theaters nationwide. Like that wasn't a thing until very recently, and it's just nice to see. So that's my thing. I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. I don't care how many times I've seen the movie. I'm gonna do it anyways. But please, for the love of God, Fathom Events, Toho, whoever's in charge, probably Toho, do Final Wars next. I want to see Final Wars in theaters.
I don't know if I'm seeing Godzilla 2000 in theaters, but I will absolutely see Godzilla Final Wars in theaters.
I will buy out the entire fucking theater to see Final Wars. Don't tempt me.
Yeah, I might do that.
I mean, hey, next year's the 20th anniversary of Final Wars. It'd be a good time to do it. Which, God, that kind of makes me feel old that it's 20 years old. But okay.
Gross.
I did see Final Wars in theaters way back when I don't know if it was 2004 or 2005, but the Brattle Theater in Harvard Square, Cambridge, they were showing Godzilla Final Wars. It was like I think the first time anyone in the States had seen it outside of that premiere in LA at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. But it was really cool. And my dad and I like skipped the first half of our vacation to like stay in Boston just to go see the newest Godzilla movie in theaters. It was great. So, all right. Well, I think we've done enough pre-show banter, Brian. Chatting
for the bant. Yeah.
Where did you even? I've never heard that aside from you. Did you get that from somewhere? Did you make it up, Brian?
I got it from. I mean, I know that it's like a British thing.
Oh, that's British.
I heard it off of my favorite podcast, my favorite podcast that isn't this, despite me never having listened to this back. My favorite podcast, Please Stop Talking, or just PST.
Okay.
One of my favorite members, Ed, is a European man, and he's very interesting.
Okay.
And he said that in a joke one time, and it was really funny.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say, how dare you bring British slang?
He's a Portuguese man who did a absolutely hilarious impression of a British guy, but like the really heavy accent.
Okay, like thick, like Cockney accent almost.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, yeah. It was really funny.
All right, I see. But yes, we're done with all the bants. So Brian, do you wanna tell us what's going on in the news this week?
Sure. Well, in addition to the previously announced novelization of the original Ultraman series by Pat Cadigan, Titan Books will also be doing a novelization of Ultra 7 as well. Both novels will be adapting the respective series for modern day, which should be interesting, especially considering neither show had any overarching threats like their successors did. It was mostly episodic. We'll be very interested to see how Cardigan tackles the material regardless. Ultraman hits bookshelves on December 12th of this year, and Ultra 7 will follow on March 12th of 2024. That's cool.
More kaiju books. More kaiju books.
The original series.
Yeah, you should, Brian.
Yeah. I really should.
Or should we place bets, Brian? Like, so what do you think you're gonna finish first, Gamera or Ultraman?
Oh, Gamera for sure.
Gamera, okay. How far into Ultraman did you get, anyways?
Pretty far.
Okay.
It won't take that much effort to finish it.
All right. Because now you've watched Shin Ultraman and you've watched the season 3 of the Netflix Ultraman. You need to know where Zetten originally came from.
Yeah,
everything will fit together perfectly if you watch it now.
And then Zetten will be doing his flips in my mind forever.
Yeah, I mean that's from like Ultra Galaxy or something.
I know.
It's not from the original series.
I could tell.
Yeah. It's okay though. But yeah, no,
that video is incredible though.
I know. You have not stopped talking about it for like the past week or so.
Every time I think about Ultraman, I think about that video.
I don't blame you. It's a great video.
It is.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for those because, like, we're getting those Godzilla. Actually, because it already came out a couple weeks ago. We got that novelization for Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again that just came out that I still need to get. I haven't gotten a copy yet. But eventually, I'll eventually get there, and then I'll tell you all about it in our What New Cool Kaiju Thing segment. But we have that, and now we're getting Ultraman and Ultra 7. Personally, I'd really like to see Ultra Q, because I feel like that could translate really well to a novelization, just because of its like kind of eerie atmosphere. I feel like it could work really well as like a thriller or something. But regardless, like, I'm still excited that we're getting Ultraman and Ultra 7. And again, the series are episodic, so it's going to be interesting to see them try to like tie it all into one coherent story, or cohesive maybe is the better word than coherent. But yeah, no, I'm excited. We'll see in December of this year, December 12th. That's when that comes out. So yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Truly, what the world needed most was a Godzilla Valentine's Day special. You may think I'm joking, but I am 100% serious when I say that. I saw the solicitation from IDW a couple days ago and promptly let out a hell yeah, without even knowing what the one shot would be about. I had no idea. I just saw the words Godzilla Valentine's Day special and I was like, let's fucking go. But to fill you in, the synopsis reads thus. Is there anything as romantic as seeing the world together, hopping from country to country to take in the sights and splendor in the world in the fleeting seconds before Godzilla smashes the skyline? Truly, there's nothing like the thrill of an international game of cat and mouse between an intrepid amateur kaiju researcher and a global kaiju response lieutenant. But when you're up against Godzilla, it's hard to have a bigger crush. Do you get it? That was a pun. I didn't make that pun. That was from the solicitation. If you have issue with me making bad puns, don't take it up with me. Take it up with who wrote the special. I don't know. Let me find out. I should have included that. That's not what I want. I don't want Valentine's cards. I want the special. There it is. Godzilla Valentine's Day special. Zoe Tennell. Blame Zoe Tennell for the bad pun. But you know what? I'm not going to, because I love a good bad pun.
Yep. They're important.
Yeah. Also, I can't remember if this is the case or not, but I saw some, when I first saw the solicitation like pop up in my feed, I saw something about like the two characters, they're like LGBTQ plus. So I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for people to be mad about that, because it's gonna be funny. But I couldn't find anything about that now when I was like looking it up. So maybe I just gaslit myself into thinking I saw that. But who knows?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would be funny.
Yeah.
To see people get upsetty spaghetti about it.
We love seeing people get mad over stupid stuff in this fandom, because then we can make fun of them. It's our favorite pastime.
And also shame them, which is more important.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shaming them and making fun of them kind of go hand in hand. So it's all good.
That's true. Anyways, speaking of someone that should be shamed, or something that should be shamed.
What the hell are you going into?
You want to talk about the game, Kong?
Oh, no. I will talk about Kong at the end of the show for the What New Cool Kaiju segment. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Just to give you guys a little tease, I am sure at this point you guys have seen that Skull Island: The Rise of Kong has been getting absolutely ripped to shreds by critics and people who are not even critics, just people who are playing the game. But I am one of those people who is playing the game, so I will let you guys know how it's going near the end of the show. But we have to talk about spooky stuff first.
Yes, that is true.
All right, so spookies, yokai monsters along with ghosts. I still don't really like the fact that they all have the main title of Yokai Monsters. The title along with ghosts rolls better off the tongue than Yokai Monsters along with ghosts. It's not as good. Not as doesn't have as good a ring to it.
It's kind of just like confusing.
Yeah, especially because they don't like have
they
any
have no
narrative.
relation.
Yeah,
to
they
each
have
other.
no narrative tissue together, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once again, I never know how to start these reviews, Brian.
I
But
mean, we could just go over a quick, like, I don't know, a quick uh, overview of what happens in the movie.
we could do that, I suppose. So basically, and actually, Brian, why don't you do this? Because you just watched it today. I watched it like a couple days ago, so it's probably fresher in your mind than it is in mine.
I mean, it's pretty easy to understand. There's the shady dudes who are Yakuza, and they like kill this old guy who's in like this like spiritual place in like a forest. And the old guy's like, don't kill people here, or else you'll be cursed. And then they kill him because they're bad. And then basically, like, they ambush these other guys who have this document that the Yakuza guys don't want to see. And then they lose it. This little girl finds it, who's like the granddaughter of the guy they killed, or of the old man they killed. And then she has to run away from these bad guys after the old grandfather guy gives her these dice. They're like, go to this town called Yui and find your dad and give him these dice. And then basically she just goes to this town while being pursued. She's helped by this other guy. And then they find out that her dad is indeed one of the Yakuza guys. I think it's kind of ambiguous to what he is. But
well, they talk about that he left town to like join the Yakuza.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess he left town, and like this little girl's mother died in childbirth, and so she was like basically just with her grandfather this whole time because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she reconnects with her dad after being captured by the Yakuza, and then all the while the Yakuza's being haunted by the yokai, but like every time they enter the forest, really. And then I guess eventually the Yakuza just start getting haunted really hard, and then they get forced into the forest by the ghost, and they all get killed.
Pretty much.
Pretty gruesomely, might I add.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens in it, but you know, that's the gist of it.
It's a general summary of events.
Yeah, it's just like the Yakuza, they chase this little girl, and all the while they're being haunted for their misdeeds at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I think the main takeaway I had from the movie, which was surprising but not necessarily in a bad way, was the fact that this, for a movie in the Yokai Monsters trilogy, it's pretty light on the actual yokai themselves. Like they're barely part of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, comparing this to like 100 Monsters, like it's night and day.
Yeah,
in 100 Monsters, like the yokai, they were like the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, they're really just like I don't really know. Like they really just show up to fuck shit up.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, like again, like you said, like they've always been characters in the past, but this one they're kind of just there. They're part. Actually, I'm going to connect this back to our previous episode because we asked Jeremy about this when we talked to him. It feels like the yokai, just like Nemesis in the novel Nemesis, aren't so much characters rather than they are in the previous works. Just like how Nemesis isn't much of a character in that book like she is in the original Nemesis saga. They're just kind of there. They're occupying the world. They're not really even occupying the world. It's really just the woods that they're in is the main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just interesting because like it's not a long movie. It might even be the shortest of them.
I think it's like 79 minutes.
Yeah. So I'm curious now. Like, so Spook Warfare. Okay, Spook Warfare is the same length. and 100 Monsters is about the same length as well. They're all about the same, that's actually surprising. It's surprising, but also not. Like I don't know what I was expecting, but like because I remember them being like not super long movies. But
No.
you know what? That's okay. We don't need every movie to be 2.5 hours long.
I would prefer if they weren't.
So would I.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, if it justifies the length, then like sure.
Yeah.
Like these movies, like they are short, sweet, compact stories, and I appreciate that. No loose ends by the end. And every movie, I'm pretty sure the yokais just have a cool ass dance out into wherever they're going.
I'm pretty sure it's like they filmed that for 100 Monsters and then just kept reusing it for the other two movies.
You know what? I'm kind of okay with it because I love them just being goofy and just hopping off.
No. I love it too. Like, I mean, obviously, like stock footage is very prevalent in tokusatsu in general. Like,
yeah.
When did this come out? This was 1969. So at this point, like stock footage was like a mainstay for a lot of tokusatsu films. I mean, this is the same year All Monsters Attack came out, which is mostly stock footage for the effects stuff. So it's something we're used to, but I feel like we're getting way off track already.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So it's interesting because the yokai have such a, I don't know how best to word this. Just because they have such a minor role in the film, and don't get me wrong, I liked this movie. I did, but I think it's the least spooky of them all. Like it doesn't feel as good for like Halloween viewing as the last two have. And I think because of that, this might be my least favorite. Again, I liked the film, but because it's not as spooky, I think it's just my least favorite out of the three. But you, Brian, you said it was probably your favorite.
I did. I was actually really surprised to hear that take from you. I mean, like, I respect it. Don't worry. But like, I really liked it because I thought that the whole story was really like, I don't know, really cool, I guess. Like, I thought it was really well delivered. Like, spoilers here. You know, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. But I'm gonna say some spoilers here. I thought that like the reveals near the end were like super like interesting and like kind of like, I don't know, like it pulled on my heartstrings a bit for this little girl to find out that her dad that she's been looking for has been trying to kidnap her this whole time.
Yeah. And
he was so focused on, and he was just ready to like beat this child to get like this document out of her. And like, and when he figured out that this was his daughter, like they kept playing around it, trying to like, you know, and I knew that eventually the little girl was going to find out and that like the dad was going to find out, and like seeing him like kind of break down and be confronted with that, like I thought it was really well delivered. And I just think like the storyline was just more, I think the story was more coherent than the last two. And I also think it was more like heartfelt. I also really just liked the whole vibe of the movie. I really liked how it was them traveling from this one place to this town, all the while being pursued. And like, you know, it was kind of a bummer that we didn't see as many yokai as we did in the first two, but I thought that they were cool as just a form of punishment at the end for these no good, you know, scumbags. Like I thought it was just their karma catching up with them. Like the father at the end said like, so like I know bad karma is really scary. It was essentially what he said. And so like, you know, seeing them, you know, this fate befall his used to be comrades was, you know, it was satisfying. But I do understand that, like, you know, going back thinking about the last two movies, like the yokai were much more of an integral part of those movies.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, like with this story, like I guess you do kind of lose out on that integration.
Yeah, I think I think if it wasn't part of the Yokai Monsters trilogy, I would probably have enjoyed it. Again, I enjoyed the movie. Because I love samurai films, and that's at its core. That's what this is. It's not really a monster movie. It's a samurai film. But yeah, I just think it doesn't. And this is gonna sound mean. I don't know if it deserves the title of a Yokai Monsters film.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
what you're saying is that like if it wasn't part of this trilogy, you would like it more.
I think so. Yeah, because again, like I said, I did like the film for pretty much all the reasons you just listed off. Because it is a really like good, heartfelt story, but it's just
also the little girl was like surprisingly good.
She was very good.
She was not annoying at all.
Yeah,
and the little boy that occasionally appeared was also I thought he was really funny.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah,
do you know who that was? Well, let's see. Has she been in anything else? Masami Burukido. Let's see. Nothing I recognize. She's been in a total of 3 films according to IMDb, and Along with Ghosts is one of those. And they were all in 1969. All right, never mind.
Huh. I guess she just was a child actor and then
I guess
decided it wasn't for her.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought all the characters were just like really pretty good. Like, you know, they're all characters we've seen before.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the movie, I thought they were all like really good.
Yeah. And you know what? God fucking bless Hyakasuro. What a stand-up dude. Like
yeah.
he just you know, he finds this girl like being chased by these yakuza, and he's just like, "Hey, do you need some help?" And he just goes out of his way to get her to where she needs to go. It was very nice of him. What a stand-up guy.
I really appreciated. There's a scene in the movie that when I was like, I always have a problem with like movies where like an adult finds a child and then the child just instantly trusts them.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a problem with that because like deep down, like I've been a kid and I would never trust some rando.
Stranger danger.
Like, you know, maybe that's because we live in the 21st century, but like I really appreciated the scene where what was his name again?
Hyakasuro.
Yakusuro, where he like comforted her saying like, you know, I may look like those bad guys that were trying to capture you, but I'm just a guy. Like I would never do anything to hurt, you or anybody. And like trying to like, and like she was like asking questions about like, what if my dad is like them, or like what if, and like,
which damn, she was right.
That showing that scene of like him going through to the lengths to comfort her about how like he is really there to help. I thought that was really nice. I guess.
And I think for that, I think he's probably my favorite of all the protagonists from these films, because he's
also his drip is on point.
Huh?
The drip was on point.
Oh yeah, movie. Of course. I mean, it always is in period pieces, I feel.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm finding I don't have much to say about this one as the others.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
How what the fuck was your reaction when we found out what the dice were?
That was pretty sick. Not what I was, because I was expecting them to be like just trick dice, which they alluded to multiple times in the film, but they were like, "Oh no, it's my wife's bones."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Made from my wife's bones.
I mean, that's pretty metal, but like, all right. Interesting. I don't know why you did that.
That's a weird coping measure.
Yeah. Like I get like keeping, people will keep the ashes of their dead relatives like on the mantelpiece. That's an actual thing that people do. But like carving dice out of your wife's bones and using that to gamble away all your money, that's a little strange. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's a little bad.
But you know what?
Yeah, It was definitely a what the fuck moment for me.
Now that I'm thinking about it, listen, if I died and I had to be remembered in any sort of way, I would want someone to carve something cool out of my bones and use it. That'd be cool. That'd be good.
Can I make a cool bone spear?
Yeah.
Out of your like. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, here. How about this? Get in touch with any high grade figure company and have the new custom made Godzilla figure, but have them sculpt the his fins out of my bones.
That's fucking metal,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
That's actually a really good.
So yeah,
request.
Brian, whenever I die, make sure that happens. Just have them carve. It'll be a only one will exist in the whole world.
You know how expensive it will be? It'll be priceless.
It will be priceless, and I don't know who's gonna have it. People are gonna have to fight over it. That's
I guess I'll have it.
I guess okay.
I guess it'll be mine.
It'll be you will be the one to carry on my remains, Brian.
Your parents are just like, can we please?
And you just got to be like, no,
mine.
You don't like Godzilla enough.
He was my best friend.
He was my co-host on a podcast.
He was my co-host. Yeah. Holy shit. Okay. Well, we should probably get back to the.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene in the whole entire movie, Dave?
Honestly, I think it was like the scene where they were like gambling to save Mio's life. I think that was my favorite scene in the whole entire movie. Because
also, like, I know the mob boss was bad, but what a piece of shit for not once, not twice, but 3 timing the little girl to get her to gamble again.
Oh, I know, right?
Like, he was like, oh, that was just a test run.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's just a warm up. And he's like, all right, he was like, all right, you're getting it now, but you know that games can only be settled in the 3rd round. This little girl is 7 years old. She doesn't even know what gambling is.
I know. She probably doesn't even know what the rules are.
Yeah. God, he is so comically evil.
I know. Which, I mean, that's kind of the case for all the villains in these movies. They're always like super, super evil to the point where it's funny.
Yeah. You ever do you notice that like whenever there's like a bad guy and he's like a Yakuza boss, they've always got the big bushy eyebrows?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
I feel like that's like a trope, but I kind of love it. Anything else you wanted to talk about?
Again, honestly, I'm not finding too much in my brain to really go over. I'm a little disappointed in myself as a podcast host. I should have more to say, but I just don't.
You should. You got to take notes, Dave.
I know. I've never taken notes previously when we review movies on this show, but maybe I should this time around.
Now is always a good time to start.
I guess so.
I mean, I guess I can tell you my favorite scene in the whole entire movie.
What was your favorite scene in the whole entire movie, Brian?
Honestly, it was probably one of the few spooky scenes where it was like, I think it was the dad or like the unknown dad at that point where he was like, or maybe I don't know, but anyways, it was one of the Yakuza dudes, and he had the little girl on his back, and he was like wandering around the woods. He's like, I'm lost, and then eventually, like, creepy shit starts happening, and then it's revealed that one of the yokai has been on his back this whole time because he kept saying that like it kept getting heavier and heavier. Right. And then for a second, he like saw the little girl like sitting in the forest ahead of him, and the guy like gets all freaked out, and it was just very well. It was a well-crafted, creepy scene.
Brian, what would you do if you discovered you had a yokai in your back?
I'd probably shriek and run away.
Okay, that's a reasonable reaction, I feel.
I don't really know if there's any other response that's appropriate.
What if he was a cool yokai though? He just wanted to hang out with you.
Oh, if he wanted to hang out, then he should have stated his intentions.
His intentions.
I'm down to hang out with a ghost if they're nice about it.
That's
I'll
fair.
make peace with any haunting ghosts around, as long as they just chill out and watch movies with me.
See, that's how the Conjuring movies should go. Just be like, hey,
Yeah.
just you want to just like grab a couple beers and chill, and they'll be like,
You want to
yeah,
just
sure.
like you want to just like not make my life a living hell,
Yeah.
and just like be a cool ghost, and like
Yeah.
I'll give you things, and
give
I'll put
you
the TV
things.
channel on that you want. What if we made peace, not war, with the ghosts?
Yeah, I think we should. I mean, that's kind of what that's almost a little bit what spook warfare is about, because they're like everyone's scared of them at first, but then you're like, oh no, these guys are pretty cool.
But they were afraid of another spooky thing.
That's true.
The vampire,
Exactly,
vampire dude.
There was a bigger threat, a greater evil, as it were.
Yeah, I think honestly, now that I'm thinking it over a bit, I do think I like spook warfare better.
I think spook warfare is still my favorite.
Yeah.
It just everything came together really well in that movie.
Yeah, honestly, the more I think about it, the more you're kind of right with saying that I think I would like this one more if it wasn't a spook, like a Yokai Monsters movie.
Yeah, it's almost like the Daimajin films in that it is like a kaiju movie, but it's also more of a samurai film first.
Yeah.
I
mean, the first Daimajin movie doesn't have Daimajin doing his thing until like the very end.
Yeah, I think they kind of all do, but I think they definitely, like, as the movies go on, there's more and more effects and action stuff as the films go on. But yeah, no, especially the first Daimajin film.
Movies, holy shit.
Hmm?
We should really review those movies.
We
Holy
should.
shit.
It'll be good.
Yeah. I love that first Daimajin movie. It's so good.
It's one of my favorites. Very, very, very much so.
It is a very metal movie.
It is.
The end, at least, very metal.
Let's see, can we... Yeah, 66 is not really a good... we don't. I guess we don't really need an excuse to review it. I was just thinking, oh, can we do it for like an anniversary or something? It's like, nah, not really.
We both have the big Blu-ray box sets. So
we do.
Yeah. Well, I think that concludes our review of Yokai Monsters.
That's wild. That's so
wild.
wild.
That we're already done.
Yeah, that we're already done. It's just weird that we're having this short a discussion about it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like our last 2 episodes have been 2+ hours. So
have they really? I know the Jeremy one was
not 2+ hours, more like just long. They've been longer.
Just long. They've been long. Period.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know
what? I feel like the reviews. I feel like the review we did for the 100 wasn't even that long. It was mainly just the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Jeremy episode actually, when it ended up being less than 2 hours, was 1 hour and 46.
Okay. All right.
I think
this one will probably
our reviews in general have been getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah. Well, I guess we gotta, or you gotta start taking some notes, Dave, because I already do.
Notes. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next review we do, I'll start doing it, I suppose, which I think I know what our next review is going to be, and Brian, you will be happy about it probably.
I think I know, and I'm excited. Oh, you know what? I just remembered one other thing I wanted to talk about.
All right, lay it on me.
About this movie, and it's a scene about those 2 guys looking for the kids in like the big yard full of pots.
Oh,
and then they see
the thing moving around, and they regenerate into a dog. Yeah,
there's a fucking dog in there, and did the kids put the dog in there and then run away?
I don't know, but now that you mention that, I hope that's what happened. I hope the kids did that.
Because what if they like stabbed the pot and didn't even like I don't know. And you put a dog in there, it's just crazy. It's crazy. What a wild scene.
Yeah, it's good. It's very Raiders of the Lost Ark when Marion's in the basket.
It was really goofy.
No, it was. These movies are all kind of goofy in the best way.
That's true. They are. Yeah, they definitely have their own even this movie, they have like a very particular vibe. I feel like all of them. It's kind of hard to explain, but like they all give me the same feeling when I watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's where we should conclude this, because that's all I have to say.
There we go. We did it. Congratulations. We've covered all the main trilogy of the Yokai Monsters films. Hooray.
And coincidentally, or not coincidentally, because the first movie we did was the first year we started, but this is our third Halloween on Talking Toku.
God damn right it is.
Very cool.
And hopefully
very cool.
Many, many more to come.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, we gotta start like brainstorming what we should do for future Halloweens, because like I don't know how many the tokusatsu horror films we can. I'm sure there's plenty, but it's more like accessibility wise, like how easily we can track the movies down is my concern.
Would you consider like The Thing tokusatsu?
I mean, for our definition of tokusatsu, I would say yes.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I would say it's tokusatsu like adjacent or tokusatsu inspired.
I would say so. Probably. I mean, we know John Carpenter loves Godzilla. He loves Godzilla. But yeah, again, we have all year to consider it. There is one I have in mind that I do want to watch, and I'm trying to remember the exact title. Yeah, Gokai Body Snatcher from Hell. I read about it in Godfather Tokusatsu Volume 1, and it sounded really, really cool. Hopefully we can track that down, because that sounds really cool. We could also... I've already watched all three of them, but there's also the Bloodthirsty trilogy, which is basically Toho Studios seeing the Hammer Dracula films being like, hey, those were really good. We should try to do something like that. And those should also all be on Arrow, because Arrow did a release for those movies. But they are very, very good. Those are great Halloween movies. The Bloodthirsty trilogy, those are phenomenal spooky Halloween movies.
Perhaps I will. I mean, I'm down to watch them for Halloween, but I'm also down to watch them just in general.
Just because, yeah. So maybe next year we'll start doing the Bloodthirsty trilogy. I think the Vampire Doll is the first one.
I mean, it's not like we have too much to pick from.
No,
I'm down.
Okay, I started looking up the Vampire Doll, and for some reason I hit enter when I typed in the vampire. So that's where my mind is at right now.
First thing to come up was the Vampire Diaries.
I'm actually not sure what came up when I searched the vampire. Oh, just the Vampire from 1957.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, that's lame.
I don't know what this movie is.
I don't know.
Who names a movie just The Vampire? That's just boring.
That is pretty boring. Remember when movie titles were cool?
They still are. Last Voyage to the Demeter? That's sick. That's a sick title.
I thought I was expecting you to go okay, boomer, but that happened in my head and not in real life. Man, remember the time when someone called you boomer on Facebook?
Oh yeah, because I said I didn't like King of the Monsters.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Classic. Classic.
That might be the funniest response ever to you.
I know. That's why I don't talk to people online. Well, at least fans that I'm unfamiliar with online.
I don't comment on shit.
Yeah, you're also like not on much social media in the first place, so
nah, it's not worth it.
Exactly. Okay. Should we talk about what new cool kaiju things we're checking out right now, Brian?
I think we should talk about your new favorite video game.
My new favorite video game, huh? That's one way to word it.
Lay it on us, Dave.
Well,
let's hear it.
For this edition of
also, tell them what platform you You bought the song because you're an idiot.
I'm not an idiot. I knew what I was getting into, Brian. So for this edition of What New Cool Kaiju Thing You're Checking Out Right Now, I'm going to rename the segment because you know what? It's just a new kaiju thing I'm checking out. It's not a new cool kaiju thing. It's not cool.
It's not always cool.
It's just a new kaiju thing I'm checking out. Thankfully, it's still the acronym still works without the C in there, so it's all good. But yes,
it's still confusing and annoying.
Shut the fuck up, Brian. Everyone else I've mentioned it to says they love it, so you're in the minority.
All right.
So yes, I have unfortunately been playing Skull Island: Rise of Kong, the latest game for. That pause was me.
I could hear the air quotes.
Yeah. Well, the pause there was where "and greatest" would normally be, but it's not really the greatest game.
It is the game of all time.
It is the game of all time. So I'm sure at this point you guys have seen all the clips and there are articles about it, about how this game is just so fucking terrible. And you know what? Yeah, it kind of is. Granted, I haven't played much of it because I bought it earlier this week. Or earlier last week, and then Spider-Man 2 came out, so I'm like, thank fucking God, I don't have to play Skull Island: Rise of Kong anymore. I can play a good game. Mm-hmm. So
some are saying the best of this year.
Huh?
Some are saying the best of this year.
Wow, that's funny.
But
people are saying the Rise of Kong is one of the worst of this year.
Oh, I meant Spider-Man 2.
No, I know.
Oh,
it's just a funny dichotomy. We got the best and the worst of this year.
I think it's still between Gollum and Kong at this point.
I was really surprised, like when Kong came out and people were like, "Oh, this is the worst game of the year." I'm like, really? Like, we got Gollum not too long ago. This is the worst game? How could this be how can this be that much worse than Gollum?
I've seen a lot of stuff on Gollum, and that game should not have been released.
Yeah. No fucking way.
Yeah.
No fucking way. Dave Fennoy. Oh my God. All right.
What?
Dave Fennoy is the quote voice of Kong in this game. Brian, if you don't know Dave Fennoy, he's Lee in the Walking Dead game.
Oh.
And he's been in a ton of other stuff too. Like, you know, he's Pong Krell in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's just funny that he's in this game. I had no idea.
What an unfortunate career development.
Right? And he played
man.
Oh no, that was not him. Yeah, he was Lee. He's Lucius Fox in the Arkham games, I know. And I think also the Telltale series. Yeah, he's done a ton of voice work. And I had no idea he was Kong. Oh, that's so funny. Okay.
That's so sad.
I feel bad for Dave Fennoy. And I need
you should send him a eulogy for his career.
Now I feel like I need to play more of the game because like now I need to hear him making monkey sounds.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I should actually talk about the game itself because I'm just making fun of it at this point. Yeah, no, it's not good, guys. Like, I am more than happy to like be nice about it, and I probably will. I think I talked to a friend of the show, Jacob, about potentially reviewing this for Kaiju United, and I told him like I am more than happy to like do a nice like professional review. But this is not a professional review. This is my fucking show, and I can do what the hell I want. So I'm gonna be mean. The fact that this needed modern hardware is laughable. Like this is like even like late era Xbox 360 is being generous. You can tell from any footage it looks like crap. It also plays like crap though. I haven't gotten many of the bugs that I see a lot of people reporting. The main one I've gotten is the attack buttons just stop working entirely. And I just have to be like, oh well, guess I just can't play anymore. Granted, like dying or reloading a checkpoint fixes it, but it's still just annoying. Again, haven't played much of it because Spider-Man 2 came out, but I've played like maybe a good 2-ish, maybe 3 hours of it, and so far,
I'm so sorry.
I know. So far, the main gameplay loop has consisted of me wandering the map because this game is open world. I was not expecting it to be open world. I was fully expecting it to be like chapter based, and I'm really annoyed that it's open world. So yeah, the main my good pal Howard from Doritos Connections and Mountain Dew has sent me an article. Oh yes, of course. The fact that the game was made in a year by overworked devs over at Game Mill, because that's how the game industry works nowadays.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Game was developed by no more than 20 people, and they were given a year to make it because Game Mill just likes to make a quick buck. It's a wonder they're still even in business. But yeah, like
it's embarrassing.
The combat is just so unintuitive. It's hard to get a handle on, but you know what I did to get a handle on it? I'm just fucking button mashing, man. Like the tutorial is like, oh yeah, mix up your moves by using heavy and light attacks. Like, no, I'm just gonna fucking mash buttons because that's what works. All right, I'm trying my best to like be a good gamer and like mix up my combat, but it's so unintuitive. There's no decent feedback for how much damage you're doing. The smallest tiny little fucking enemies that come up to no higher than Kong's knee take like 7 heavy hits, mind you, before they actually die. They literally look like chickens. Like comparatively size-wise, it's about the size of a chicken would be to like a normal human being. That's how small they are, and they take that much damage. It's so frustrating, and they just like.
Dave, do you think you could kill a chicken in 7 hits?
I probably could.
Okay.
Do you think you could?
No,
you don't think you could kill a chicken in 7 hits?
Chickens are mean and vicious.
I guess. I don't know. I haven't interacted with many chickens in my life.
I mean, they're not meaner than like geese, but
yeah. Anyways,
go on.
The block function, it serves almost no function because like I'll block and nothing really happens, and then one of the enemies, it's like a big blue velociraptor looking thing. It has this attack where it literally attacks, like if you get hit by it, it's like 10 hits and then you're pretty much dead. And like I'll block and nothing really happens and then I die. And I'm like, wow, cool. I'm having so much fun. Like I said, the main gameplay loop has so far consisted of me wandering the island, the fucking open world game, looking for something to do because there is no indicator on what my objective is or how much progress I'm making. Let me tell you, according to PlayStation, my current objective in the game is simply beat the game. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. And
You're supposed to beat the game.
I'm supposed to beat the game, I guess. I gotta beat the game.
Yeah.
They have there's a thing you can do. You can you can roar and it will show you points of interest, and then I go to the points of interest and there's fucking nothing there, which is real helpful. So thanks for that. Yeah, just overall it's not good. I wanted it to be good. And believe me, I bought it knowing it wasn't going to be good. The reason I bought it is because I saw so many people saying it was bad. Like, I was probably going to buy it eventually, like it was on sale or something. But as soon as I saw people were like, "Oh wow, this is terrible," I'm like, "Oh well, let me get my wallet." I needed to see how bad it was. I needed to experience it for myself, exactly how bad the game was. And you know what? I have no regrets. I am satisfied with how bad it is. But
do you want me to read you some Steam reviews?
Please do, Brian. Regale us.
All right. So from poster Kazu Crash, he played 4 hours, and his review is, "This game really rustles my jimmies."
Yep, that I agree.
From Steam user, can't read their whole name. Oh my goodness, something. They played this for 1 hour, and they reviewed it by saying, "How is this even allowed to be sold?"
Honestly.
This person recommended the game, has 0.6 hours on record, and the product was refunded.
And they recommended it.
And his review is, "You know a game is a banger when the file is called monkey.exe and has the stock Unreal image."
Oh my god. You know what the worst part of this is? This is the first King Kong game we've gotten since 2005.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Cause like that Kong game, that was the tie-in game for the Peter Jackson film. That game's fucking sick. That game's like legitimately
like 3 versions of it.
There is, but like the main like console version is like, it's generally considered like one of the better kaiju games out there because you have so many different options. You have Kong's campaign, you have the humans campaign. It's all really, really good. And then we have this.
Yeah.
We waited almost 20 years for a new Kong game, and this is what we got.
Yeah, what a huge bummer.
I know. We were just talking.
You would think that they wouldn't allow a game like this to be made with an IP like Kong.
Right? I have no idea how Game Mill stumbled upon the IP.
Wait, isn't King Kong public domain?
So yes, but this is apparently specifically based on the King Kong of Skull Island property that DeVito Artworks has. So it's a very specific copyrighted version of Kong.
Damn, then the copyright holders must be very hands off.
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all the funny Steam reviews I saw. Yeah. So well done.
So Kong, Skull Island Rise of Kong. It's not good, man. Just keep going. Just move on.
Play Spider-Man.
Play Spider-Man 2 instead.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's it. I think, unless you. Oh wait, did you check out anything recently, Brian?
I don't remember if I said that I finished Ultraman Season 3.
I think you did. Yeah.
I did.
I think.
Okay. I don't remember. I'm not used to recording every week.
I know it's throwing us off.
I know. I mean, in case you guys didn't listen to the last episode, which, why?
You really should. It's a good episode.
I finished Season 3 of Ultraman on Netflix. I can't remember if I said that I had finished it back then or if I had just watched it. But I really liked it. It was real good. We might actually turn around and do an episode on it.
I know, which is wild because we were not planning on doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I was genuinely surprised by how much I was into it. And it really made me feel like a fool that we forced ourselves to cover Season 2 because we really should not have.
Yeah. But again, I mentioned this to you like off recording. Like it's good to review stuff we don't like because we don't want to always be doing like, yes, this is good. Yes, this is good. Yes, this is good. We gotta have some variety in there. Gotta have some shit to go with the gold.
I just don't really feel like we had anything to say about it.
No, we really didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I have a lot that I could talk about with season 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. I mean, we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, whenever I finally get around to finishing it. Again,
Yeah,
October's hard because I'm so focused on horror. But we're almost done.
it's true.
After this, we'll be back in November, and then we'll be able to talk about other stuff that's not horror. So
Through that. But yeah, so I mean, that's all I've been checking out. Been playing a shitload of Monster Hunter.
hell yeah, I see you do that a lot. It pops up.
Last night I was playing with a friend of mine, and we fought this asshole who's like I don't know, he's like a reskin of another monster, but he shoots like these really annoying quills out of his tail.
Mm-hmm.
And I cut that fucker's tail off, and it was very satisfying. He couldn't shoot those quills anymore. Yeah. Oh, actually, there was another thing that I wanted to talk about Monster Hunter. There is a monster. Let me get the name of it.
Yeah.
Glavenus.
That's a name.
So he is really cool. I'm gonna send you a picture of him, Dave.
Okay.
And I just want you to tell me what vibe he gives you.
Okay. He looks pretty cool. He's got a big sword on his tail, I think.
But you want to know what his moveset reminds me of?
What?
Giron from Gamera Rebirth.
Oh, really? Yo, I can definitely see that. He's just flipping around.
He's flying around doing flips and shit with that tail. And I fought him for the first time last night. And I instantly was just like, this guy seems like he is based off of Giron. Because the moveset was like so similar. And I know he's not, because Monster Hunter World came out before Gamera Rebirth. But actually, he might be in other Monster Hunter games. If he is, then it might be. It
might be, because I know they do carry over a lot of the creatures between games.
Yeah. I think most of the creatures are carryovers from other games. But another cool thing that he does is that he grinds his tail on the ground, and it lights it on fire.
That is pretty sick.
It's so cool. I want to see if I can find a video of him doing it. Nah, I can't. But I'll send you something later.
All right.
It's super cool.
All right. Well, I think that's it then. Look at this actual short episode for once.
I know.
And this time we're not even like saying, "Oh, it's going to be a short episode," and then it actually ends up being a normal length. This is like actually a short episode. We're only just over an hour right now. That's insane.
Yeah. I'm all right with it. A lot
I'm
of
all
our
right with it
episodes end
too.
up being pretty long.
Yeah, so I'm okay with this. It's nice to like kind of sit back and just relax for once, which is what I'm going to do when I get home.
And it's a Halloween episode. It's coming out during Halloween, so like, you should be out there watching your horror movies.
Exactly.
And shit.
You got better
you
things to
listen to
do.
us, and then you go do other stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, Brian, what are we gonna cover next time again? Are we doing? Finally,
we are hoping to cover Eight-Legged Freaks.
I think that's what we're gonna do, unless I get an email back from a certain potential guest, but we'll see about that.
Yeah. If that potential guest, if we don't hear back from them, then count on it being Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yes,
which is something that I've been pleading.
You have been for a while now, and I apologize for that. But it's finally gonna happen. If not next episode, then definitely the episode after. I'm putting my foot down. It's gonna happen because I do want to watch it because I've never seen it before. So
yeah, and honestly, it would be good as like a come down from Halloween, because it's a creature feature, but it's not like scary.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's in the I feel like the same vein as Tremors. Is that a correct assessment?
Yeah, like David Arquette is literally the main character. Like that should tell you everything you need to know.
Exactly. Exactly.
God, man, I could watch Tremors right now. I love Tremors.
It's so good. You see Arrows doing
We should really do an episode on that too.
We should. Do you see Arrows doing a Tremors 2 set?
No, but I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, because they did Tremors a couple years ago, and then now they're doing Tremors 2 as well.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys have any creature features that we've never heard of,
Yeah,
please
honestly,
let us know.
please. I like the more weird and obscure Oh, actually, I should have put this in the news today because I totally forgot that we were talking about this in the Kaiju United server. I don't know if you saw this, Brian. We are getting a Chinese remake of Sharktopus.
I did not see that, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, hold on. I got to bring it up. I like the just creature feature was oh god, it's not even here. Remake. How about Sharktopus remake trailer? Chinese creature feature brings the Roger Corman monster back to life. When does this come out? It just says 2023. When is it coming out, though? I want to know. All right, that poster is literally just the poster for the Meg.
What?
That is literally just the poster for the Meg.
I want to see this shit. Oh my god! What
It's
the
literally
fuck?
just the poster for the Meg.
It's got the same colors and everything.
I know. That's that's really funny, actually.
Maybe they used all of the collaboration money they got with the Meg and they put it towards this movie.
It doesn't have a date, though. At least not a date in English that I see.
I mean, this whole poster is just... It's so uncanny.
It is. Is it already out? Because that poster says 10/14, which would be, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just out in China now.
Maybe.
And wait, is it Chinese or is it like Taiwanese?
It's Chinese. That's what it says.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, a new Sharktopus in 2023. That's fucking
I didn't think
insane.
China really made movies like that.
I know, right?
All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what the rules are anymore.
Neither do I. No one does. All right. Well, there's that. Anything else we want to add before we wrap things up, Brian?
Just a reminder that we have a Discord now.
We do indeed.
Called Talking Toku. I said I was going to upload a post with the link. I haven't, but Dave has been gracious to post the link to Facebook.
Yes.
So you can get it there.
Correct.
But I will also be posting it on Instagram in the coming days.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And it's cool. Join it. You can talk about anything really, as long as you keep it cool and not terrible. You can play games. I hope to host like Jackbox parties in the future.
Mm-hmm. Would be
other
sick.
cool shit. You'll be very sick. Yeah. So if you guys want to join, you're totally welcomed, and you can hit us with whatever questions or recommendations you want.
Yes. All right, and now we come to our final segment where I talk about what's new on Kaiju United, because that's official. That's official segment.
Job.
It's my job.
Job, Dave.
Not a whole lot new. I mean, we got the coverage about the Ultraman novelizations. That's where I picked up the information for the news segment today. I got it from Kaiju United, so thanks, Jacob. I appreciate it. Mitchell Shuttleworth actually did a really, really in-depth look back at the original Project Nemesis. It's like a really long, well-researched article / review, and it's real. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because it's so long, but like I can't wait to actually like sit down and take a look, because I've talked about it a lot on the show. Like, I love the Nemesis saga, and I'm glad that we got people like Kaiju United, giving it the love it deserves. There's that, and hey, what's that? New Talking Toku Jeremy Robinson interview? Who could that be about, I wonder? It's us. That's the joke.
Yeah,
that's the bit. That's the bit I'm making. Talking Toku is us, if you weren't aware, and we interviewed Jeremy Robinson last week. So hey, if you haven't listened to that episode, you should go check it out. It's a good episode. I do believe, spoiler
Best.
alert, but not really, because this episode will be coming out after the article. Kaiju United's interview with Jeremy Robinson should be dropping, I think, Wednesday, the 25th, I think, is when Jacob had it planned to go up. Don't quote me on that, but I think he said this week at some point, so it should be out by the time this episode goes up. If not, I don't know, don't blame me. I'm not the one who runs Kaiju United.
True.
All right, that's going to be it. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, but not really Twitter, because fuck Twitter. And
Twitter
YouTube.
sucks.
All at Talking Toku. Go check out that Discord server that Brian mentioned. Also check out the Kaiju United Discord server and Facebook group and website, of course, because I just mentioned that. So happy Halloween. I hope you guys
Halloween, dudes.
have some more spooky kaiju stuff to look forward to. I know I do. I will probably mention it on the next episode because it's close enough. But I'm not going to spoil it just yet. I'll let you guys figure it out.
Let you guys figure it out. Didn't give any hints.
It's dinosaur related. So take from that what you will. It's a dinosaur and a horror movie, so take from that what you will.
Can I guess?
Take a guess, Brian.
Is it Tammy and the T-Rex?
No.
Oh, that was my only one. I just heard T-Rex, and that's what I heard.
I didn't even say T-Rex. I said dinosaur.
Sorry, I heard dinosaur, and then I thought about T-Rex, and then I thought about that's right.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
You used your one guess, Brian. Very sad. That's okay. All right, guys. Once again, happy Halloween. Hope you guys have a good Halloween.
Don't eat too much candy.
Or do.
Do whatever you want. You're an adult.
We can't control what you do with your life.
I'm not your mom.
Yeah, I don't know even know if I really care. I mean, I do care a little bit, but like not enough to tell you not to eat too much candy, because Lord knows I do that.
Yeah.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.